What is up, Survivor Thrivers? Authentically Me, Regina B, is back with another video. How are you? I hope you've been well. I hope you've been in good health. It has been almost a month, if not a little bit more than a month, since I have uploaded a video, recorded a video. Today is Friday, March 15th. And I said, you know what? I've been having this book for like 2 weeks. Let me go ahead and share the new therapy workbook with you guys that we're going to do if you haven't seen it over here in the corner. But I thought, you know what, why not? And I was going through it and reading it because it has a lot of reading material before you get into the therapy stuff. But I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and we embark on this journey together. So I stopped reading it. I got everything set up and we're going to go through it. So this video may be a little bit longer and it may have more reading in it. If you want to fast forward through some things, feel free to do that. If you want to purchase the book that I'm about to share with you so that we can go along this journey together, I really recommend that. But if you just want to flow along with me and, you know, watch my journey and be a part of my journey, you are more than welcome to do that. There may be some interruptions as well because my children had a half a day from school and they're outside playing. But again, I thought, just sit down and get into it. And I'm so excited about this book that I picked. It's like a light bulb went off today and I was like, oh my God, the Lord has been leading me on this path right up to here. So all the work that I've been doing on this journey has brought me to where I'm at doing this therapy workbook. And it goes in alignment with just my what is it, my career, I guess you could say, or something like that. It's kind of the flow that I see society going into. There's different people that are starting to get involved in the type of healing work that a lot of us have journeyed on. And so anyway, it's so exciting. So let me stop talking. This is the book that we're going to do. It's called the Somatic Therapy Handbook, Self-Soothing Techniques for Healing Trauma, Enhancing the Mind-Body Connection, and Stress Relief by Cher Hampton. And how I found this book was my therapist had recommended some therapy workbooks for me to do. And so I went to Amazon to look at them, and one of them, it didn't fit me. It just seemed kind of boring, and I was like, And then the other one was more like the cognitive behavioral therapy workbook that we went through. And so I was like, well, we've kind of already journeyed through that. And then, you know how on Amazon, when you go down, it says people also bought. I saw this and I was just drawn to the artwork on the front, you know, the girl sitting in a very meditative position. There's a sun behind her, there's nature. And so I looked at it and I had it in my cart for a while. And then I had the other one that my therapist had recommended in there for a while. And I kept going back and forth. And then finally I landed on this one. And I'm very excited about it. I'm starting to see a trend where people who are therapists are wanting to become yoga instructors because they want to incorporate yoga at some point in their therapy session, which is what got me on this journey. I first got my level 1 instructing through the Yoga Fit, which is through Beth Shaw, or was created by Beth Shaw, and that's exactly what Yoga Fit is all about. It's about the lady that was our virtual instructor was a therapist / yoga instructor. And I did this, 2-3 years ago? So I'm just excited, but I'm really excited to jump into this book with you. I love how at the bottom it says self-soothing techniques for healing trauma. It's funny because back when I was little, I was a thumbsucker. And it was always like, get your thumb out your mouth, get your thumb out your mouth, you know? And so then, now that I'm a mother, my youngest baby is a thumbsucker. And the reason that, you know, I joke around with her, take your thumb out your mouth, take your thumb out your mouth. And she's getting older, and sometimes she uses it to her advantage to make herself seem more baby-like, to get her way. And so I'll be like, get your thumb out your mouth. But all these years later, we realized that thumb sucking is a form of self-soothing. Just like a binky is a way for a baby to soothe itself, thumb sucking is a form of self-soothing. So it helps you stay emotional. I even had a therapist that said she was a thumb sucker and still does sometimes. So this is just going to help us, those of us that maybe were really good at self-soothing ourselves, but for whatever reason, we were taught not to self-soothe ourselves. This is going to reintroduce that to us as adults now. So I think I've talked enough. And let's see the introduction. So she has a quote by Michael Shengaris, Changaris. Before there are words, there is the wordless communication of the body. And this is the introduction. So I'm not going to read all of this. I'll read the first the first paragraph in the introduction, and then the last two. So it says, healing is gardening work, a lot like tending to a beautiful yet overgrown garden. Imagine this garden has been neglected for years. Weeds have sprouted everywhere, choking the life out of once vibrant flowers. Thorny bushes have invaded, and a thick layer of leaves covers the once fertile soil. The entire ecosystem is out of balance, and the garden's natural beauty is hidden beneath the chaos. Like this garden, our emotional landscape can become overgrown and tangled. Past traumas, unresolved feelings, and negative beliefs can sprout like weeds, choking out the aspects of our lives that feel like light and life. We may feel overwhelmed, stuck, or lost within our own emotional wilderness. However, just as a skilled gardener can restore a neglected garden to its former glory, we too can embark on a journey of emotional healing. And so this is all the introduction. I've already went through this. So it's basically just repeating what we just read just now. And so the last paragraph says, our bodies and our minds are intricately intertwined, more so than we think, without realizing that intricately intertwined got me all muddled. Okay, so more so than we think. Without realizing it, trauma can get trapped in parts of our body and manifest physically. By bringing awareness to these sensations and learning how to work with them, we can begin to heal on a deeper level. This book is your roadmap toward healing through somatic therapy. We will discover how to tap into the wisdom of our bodies to release trauma, tension, and stress. It's going to help us find the path to healing and create a sense of wholeness within ourselves. It's the first step toward healthier, happier, more integrated versions of ourselves. Let's dive right in. Chapter 1. And chapter 1 is pretty thick, so if I end up just stopping and picking up, we'll pick up, another day like we do. So it says, what is somatic therapy? And the quote here is by Unknown. It says, our bodies tell us truths which are much harder for our thoughts and emotions to access. Unknown. Yes. Something that most of us aren't willing to admit is that we are not in any way or form connected to our bodies. We've learned or conditioned ourselves to retreat to our thoughts, cognitive awareness, or our own intellectual insights to navigate dysregulation. In a way, you can think of it in a way, you can think of it in this way. The bigger the emotions we feel, the more we think and tune into our thoughts. That is until we hit a wall. We become stuck and realize that all the thinking is actually not doing much for us. It isn't regulating our nervous system or the chaos that we feel inside our bodies. When we hit this wall, it's an invitation to rebuild that mind-body connection. It's an opportunity to turn inward with compassion, care, curiosity, and conscious intention. This is the heart of somatic therapy, or what I like to call the feel, process, and release method. This is true. There can be a thought that I've had that leads me to the emotion of anger. So whether it is someone that, disrespected me or someone that was offensive, and when I try to push it down and I don't acknowledge like that made me angry, it does end up manifesting itself in a negative way, and usually at the wrong person. And so for me, what I've been practicing, what helps me is just acknowledging I'm angry. And the safest way that I do that, like I've said with you guys, that has helped me recently, is to just pray, like what I'm angry about, who made me angry, why I'm angry about it. And it's this beautiful rhythm of I'm praying and then I'm also just talking about it, and I'm praying and I'm talking about it. And it helps me process that feeling of anger. So I do agree that when we try to push things down, when we try to think our way out of it, like, okay, I'm just going to think my way out of it. Or if you're an overthinker like me, you can distract yourself, whether it be, scrolling, or whether it be through TV. I have a TV over here, that's why I'm pointing over here. But you find a way to distract yourself from that thought, from that emotion, and then it still ends up coming out in some inappropriate way a lot of times. So somatic therapy is a type of therapy that focuses on building the relationship between the mind and body. It is rooted in the idea that our emotions and experiences are not just in our heads, but are also stored in our bodies. Learning to understand and work with these physical sensations can help individuals heal from a range of emotional and psychological traumas. Yes, that is why I've always enjoyed yoga. I always knew that I feel like when I have felt rage and I really lost my temper, I feel it in my stomach. Like my stomach becomes a rock, and it literally feels like all of my internal organs have fused together and it's locked up. Sometimes when I'm sad or upset, I can feel it in my neck. So, and a lot of times it's me twisting it out, but I'm learning to be mindful, and I am a very mindful person because I'm an overthinker. So I've been able to connect, like, okay, I was thinking about this and it hurt my feelings and it's showing up in my neck. And that's why I've always been drawn to yoga, because it's a time for you to get on your mat and get inside of yourself. And instead of having that tension build up inside of you, and you can release it. I like to do the upper body moves, and it's like, go to the side. Anyway, so the word somatic is derived from the Greek word soma, which means body. In somatic therapy, we use a variety of techniques to help us become more aware of our physical sensations and how they relate to our emotional experiences. The one thing that we should understand is that the body has its own innate wisdom and ability to heal. Yes, it does. Thank you, Jesus. By bringing attention to the physical sensations of the body, we can access this wisdom and work through emotional and psychological issues in a holistic way. Okay, this goes back to things that I've done years and years ago that I was trying to find my way through, and I would always be like, holistic healing for anxiety and this and this and that. And it's like, sometimes when I get on something, I go fast. Like even on my runs, I'm like, Lord, I know I should be running slow right now, but this song came on and I got to pick up my pace. I like to get to things quickly. And sometimes, a lot of times, all of the time, getting to and through things quickly is not the way to go. You can get through a run pretty quickly. You can't rush the time or the pace, but you can get through a quick run. But when you're going through a journey, you're not going to get from point A to Z like that. And that's what I'm learning. And so it's just like, relax, enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. Y'all. Okay, so we got a whole other way the kids could go, but instead they choose to go like this way. And it's like, back here is a room, so it's like a big circle. So they could have came in through the back door and then went that way, but instead they choose to come right here. That was my kids bringing in a report. Oh yeah, but it comes back to everything, because I used to research holistic healing all the time, and I've always been a person that believes, yes, doctors are important. Yes, they're necessary. They go the extra mile. They take the extra time to learn the science behind everything. But I always believed in our own ability to heal ourselves through faith. I just always have believed that if I pray it and I'm asking God, like, help me with this, or help me with this pain, or I'm feeling this, in the name of Jesus, I believe that he will lead us and guide us to a way that will help us heal. So yeah, I've always believed in the holistic way, and I'm so excited that now it's becoming mainstream and more people are taking holistic healing seriously. So let's see. It says the principles of somatic therapy, somatic work is a lot of things. If you think about it, it's in that very same breath that you're taking right now. It's in those moments when you take your hand, put it on your chest, and say hello to yourself. It's being within yourself, even if it's just for a split second. I'm going to stop here. This is what helps us foster a deeper understanding of ourselves and cultivates greater self-awareness and resilience. It's what empowers us to explore and connect with our bodies to promote the overall sense of well-being and to build a more fulfilling life. But to get there, we have to understand the principles that will enable us to put them into practice. And so it goes into the marvel of our makeup, understanding our bodily symphony, and the rhythm of stress. So when I come back for our next video, this is where we'll pick up. And let's see here. I'm interested to know when the workbook part will start. So she's explaining, and I was kind of going to skip through to that, but I'm like, no, I like to go through things fast. And it's like, no, just go through chapter 1. I understand and know what somatic therapy is. And I've been researching it even before picking up this book. But I still want to go through this process and not rush myself. So, but I am interested to see. Okay, so it looks like chapter 2 is when the workbook type of stuff will begin. So yeah, I'm going to stop right here because I don't want to rush through this. But yes, all of this goes with who I am. It goes with what I've been learning in therapy as well. When I shared with her that, you know, what happened when I got enraged and my stomach locked up, she was like, that was your physical response to what you were feeling, to that anger you were feeling. And I knew that, but it feels great. And she's a doctor, she's a psychiatrist. So the fact that validation is coming from a professional, it's like, okay. And I share things with her and the things that come up in prayer. And she's like, every single time you told me what has come up in prayer, it has been truth. It has been truthful. You just have to get better. I just have to get better at listening to that intuition, to that intuitive voice that's guiding me. And that's what she's going to help me do and help me build. And a lot of that, unfortunately, does come from the childhood trauma that I experienced. And so that's okay, because it's a learned behavior that is going to take time to unlearn and build up those better behaviors. But that's where that comes from. It's not like there's something wrong with me. It's not like there's something wrong with you. To know where a plant comes from, you have to know what type of seed it is, I guess you could say. Or, you know what I mean? Like, you have to know what seed was planted in order to kind of go uproot it and take it out. So it's like, yeah, I have to get better at listening to that intuitive voice. But a lot of times when I do think something or when I do pray, what I receive back is spot on. And then it's me that is like, oh, I don't know. And that's that self-doubt. That's that self-worth issue that we're building upon. So I'm super excited to share this journey with you. I'm super excited to share this book. I'm super excited to see what type of work she's going to have us do. So yeah, this is the book. If you want to cop it and we go together. And like I said, I really like what attracted me was the artwork. I really like the artwork. As for me, what has been going on in this past month, life is lifing. The children have been going to school. I've continued to grow as a personal trainer. I have 5 clients in rotation. I now do a Saturday yoga class at 3 p.m. I've had 5 people show, I've had 12 people show, and everyone has been supportive. The other yoga instructors at the gym are so supportive of me, so encouraging, making sure on their classes on Monday or Wednesday that, they say, hey, we got a class on Saturday now. Regina's instructing, please show up. So that has been very, very beautiful. And it goes along with what we talked about in our 30 Days of Hope and Help for the Adult Child of a Narcissist, when we got to the end of that. And she said, as you let toxic people go and drama go and things like that, you'll start to see new things and new individuals and new creative ideas start to creep up in your life. And I'm seeing that happen firsthand. And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing with you. That's one thing I am, is a sharer. I don't think that when you go on a journey like this and you see the progress that you're making based on the work that you're doing, and you see how, praying and asking in faith for different blessings, and then you see yourself getting them, I believe you should share it with others, so that if someone ever felt like you did at one time, like there's nobody like me, like I'll never get the healing, like does God love me? Is God mad at me? And when he starts to say, no, I'm not mad at you, I'm madly in love with you. Yes, you will be healed, delivered, and saved. Yes, you will get that blessing that you're going to get. When you share it with others, to me, that I want to send to you guys, that if it's happening for me, if he's done it for me, he will do it for you. God is generous. He is generous and abundant. And he knows what will work for you specifically, which is so wonderful, because he knows you intimately. You are known by him. So your journey may not look like my journey, but your journey is still going to be a magnificent journey for you. So if you are interested in learning about this somatic therapy journey, I encourage you to cop the book, or just Google what it is and how it works, and see how it's just like, it goes with God's word. It goes with the yoga experience, and then, they call it the somatic thing. And so it all works together for the good. Yes. Thank you guys so much for rocking with the channel. I greatly appreciate your support and your love and your encouragement. It is a beautiful early spring day outside. I hope it is the same where you are. If it's not, just remember, the clouds are only hiding the sky and the sun. It's always still there. Make sure you find an opportunity to get out there and get after whatever your get after is. If you are able to get after it, I love you. God loves you so much more.